Let's call the Murray County Board of Education meeting to order. Board members, you have a copy of the agenda. Are there any changes that need to be made? If none, I need a motion that we approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Kelly, I think it was Renda. All in favor? It is approved. Next, public participation. All right, next on the agenda, operational and financial effectiveness.
Yes, so we, last month, I believe, month before last, we went through and talked about the details of the small bond we're doing to finish the renovation over at Murray County High School. It was almost a continuation. When we did the original bond that we're about to pay off, it was a larger one. The next one was a little bit smaller just to kind of finish the gym. So this one is a little bit more almost added to that to make it pretty equivalent to what we had before to finish that renovation project over there. It's going to be roughly $5.8 million. That gives us a little bit of cushion on the other side to take care of some other operational things that may come up as far as maintenance goes. So we've been working with our friends here. You've got John and Bryce here to make that, or get that taken care of. So we had our bond sale last week. When we had talked about rates, we had looked at bonds at a 4.0 rate and bonds on the low side at a 3.5 rate. We actually caught 3.1 and some change rate. So we had a good sale last week. That's to Regions Bank is who did that one. And so if you guys have any questions for John and Bryce, they're here, and then we'll vote on it in the regular session, but this is just if we have any discussion points left on that.
So does that start immediately?
It'll start, we close Feb 19, and so, yes, it will start from there. Now, the rate that you got was a 3.17, and we can reinvest that at the local government investment pool that is currently yielding
3.7, probably about 3.7.
3.7. So you will meet what we call the bond or rebate exemption rule on this money. And so any money you make over and above, the 317, you can actually keep for your projects. And you're also doing that on the last bond, the 24 bond that we sold. You're going to make, we've estimated probably over and above your what's known as the bond arb yield. You're going to probably make around 180 grand over the life of that. So that was nice. So with both of these, you're going to meet those rules. They're very, very strict IRS rules, and we've worked really closely with your staff, to make sure that you meet those rules, such that you can make that money, that extra money. Your second bidder was really Synovus, another local bank. I want to mention that to you. And their rate was 3.34. And then you had a Webster Bank out of Athens at a 3.50, and United Community Bank at a 3.59. So obviously we went with the lowest rate. And there was a little bit of the language in the region's proposal that we really negotiated out. And so you're all good with that. Any other questions, let us know. But really my main point there was you'll be making money on, closing this earlier rather than later.
You said that was February the 19th?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Chris has already got things lined up.
Oh, his
over-
eye, I'm just seeing his head, just
Yeah.
project after project.
So we're excited about to get that taken care of and knocked out, and then we can move on to some other things that we need to take care of.
Is there any other questions? All right, if none, next on the agenda is student achievement.
Nothing there?
Next, board discussion.
I've got two things. I think, hey Chris, where we at on the controls?
We will probably look at that maybe with some of this bond money, maybe. That's been on the discussion for a while. It's just trying to figure out where we're gonna fit it in with all the other stuff that we've got going on. Now, I will say, they should have Spring Place Elementary pretty much done. And remember, I mentioned this a little bit ago, that was at no charge. All of the stuff was kind of set up, and ready to go, and they have been working on that one. All of the power, stuff that we had to do through Georgia Power, all of the South End schools are done. Every single one of them. I've just gotta get the controls company to come back and start working, say from Spring Place back up this way, putting the controls in. So we're moving on it as fast as we can.
So it's done, except getting the controls in there.
That's correct. And Spring Place is gonna be really close to being done with the controls in it.
Okay. And then my other thing was, I had somebody contact me from, Murray Head Start,
Mhm.
and she was saying that apparently, like in Whitfield or Dalton, they kinda interline with, like, the free enrollment. And she doesn't know if they could like partner, like, they're not gonna pull any, of course, the pre-K kids, but they're talking about like if anybody has any family that's, any kids that are, younger than pre-K, that they can go there to the Murray County Head Start.
I mean, we could probably have some flyers available, I guess, at the schools, and if somebody has a 3-year-old, they can hand those flyers out, and that wouldn't be a problem. So I mean, if you wanna put them in touch, just to send us some things to have available.
Yeah.
Kindergarten enrollment and pre-K enrollment is gonna be March 19th. That's gonna be at the schools, and so they will, from 12 to 5. So parents can go out to their zone school that day. If they've got some that may be going to pre-K, want to go to a different, where they were this year, something like that, we'll work that out, they'll go to their zone school. And, after that, it'll run through the enrollment center, just on the daily. So that'll be the first day, and of course, parents can take advantage of online enrollment options and things that we have. So excited to get those, things started next month, and to do pre-K at the schools with their kindergarten enrollment. And that was just at the suggestion of several people, and they said they welcome it and do it that way, so excited about that.
Are they going to, or will there be, like an evaluation of those kids going into kindergarten? Are they doing that now anymore?
We don't really need to because pre-K's in our building, so you see.
Yeah, but you don't get all the kids,
Right.
so
Well,
I just know when I got kids, if I knew kind of where they were at when I got them, it made a big difference.
we've done that in years past, it's just this year we've got all pre-K's in the building. But
Yeah,
And
we test them at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year, so those teachers could just pass that along to the kindergarten teachers.
And we've got, I think, roughly 208, roughly, as of today, it was 284 pre-K kids in our system, and that's all of them combined. Our kindergarten enrollment, I think, is 412 right now. So you can kind of see that gap
Yeah.
that exists in there, because we do have a lot of kids that come, and so we'll get to see the first of them as they come out on the 19th. And kind of back to what you were talking about with controls, Kathy and Chris went to the capital outlay meeting last week and got some clarification on that. So we'll probably make an application for some funds this spring, summer, but those funds won't be available until the following, to FY '28 essentially. So, but we can get some things lined up and ready to go, get all of our ducks in a row, and then, choose to attack some projects where we can get reimbursed. Maybe not 100%, but we can get some good reimbursement back on some of the maintenance projects that we need to do. But we'll probably go ahead and make that application, and we're still kind of working on some of that stuff, but we talked a little bit, especially since it'll kind of lag a year, so we'll have it in there.
Where are we at with a cell phone? No cell phone. Where's the state at? Is there any updates with the state?
They are looking to add the 912 to the bill from last year. It looks like they're gonna date it the year after, kinda like we had that lag year. As we talked last week as a group, we felt like if they're gonna pass that bill, which I assume they will, then we'll probably go ahead and do it all at one time here and start next year.
That's what I was gonna recommend, because it's overwhelming. I mean, everybody wants, to keep the government out of their schools and small government, but yet we wait around on them to make state laws. But it's, as far as learning, I mean, it's overwhelming. that learning's gotten better, bullying's decreased, you know, and the teachers support it, and there's just so many reasons to go ahead and do that. So I would definitely recommend
Yeah, I would,
piggybacking on the middle schools and go ahead and make it from middle through high school and build everybody at the same time.
And that's kind of why we waited, was to wait and see what was gonna happen with the state, because we don't wanna have to message it twice. So once we talked to our parent advisory group last week, we've got our students and teacher advisory groups coming in this week, and we're gonna have conversations about the best ways to message that, get some suggestions from them, and then we'll start that this spring, talking about to the kids, to the parents, to the teachers, to everybody, how that is gonna look next year. So even though the state law technically, and it's, who knows, they haven't passed anything, so they could retro it to this
Looks like it's
year.
gonna pass.
It'll pass, I'm just wondering what they'll change with the
We
date.
might as well go ahead, and there's just too many reasons not to go ahead and implement the policy.
see, I'm with you
With the
on
high
that. I
school-
agree too. I agree
The high
with you
school
too.
and the middle school at the same time.
Yeah, that's our plan going
Yeah,
I
forward, so.
mean, you need to support these teachers, administration, and they'll have a whole lot less discipline problems if that was the case.
Yeah, everybody we talked to that has done some of that this year, they said the first little bit was tough, but once they got things kind of set into place, you know, they saw the benefits of it. So our staff, we talked to them last week, our leadership team, they were excited about that, so that looks like the direction we're gonna go.
Any other board discussion? If none, next on the agenda is quality workforce.
We're gonna make it a first reading,
Yeah,
social media.
back in April of 2024, Senate Bill 351 was passed, which is the social media law. Its implementation has been staggered. You may recall back in October, we adopted a acceptable use policy, and as of April the 1st of this year, the law requires that there be a social media policy that we have to adopt and submit it to the DOE for approval. This policy here simply tracks the statute's language. It's no more in it than is required by the law. It's OCGA section 20-2-324.7 is the statute, and this policy here is basically that statute and policy. So we're asking that have a first reading today, and then we'll have it in place by the required date of April the 1st.
Anyone have any questions? If none, I need a motion that we go into executive session.
So moved.
Brenda, Hunter, all in favor? We are in executive session. Hunter, I need a motion, for a second, go into open session. Kelly, all in favor? We are in open session. Does anybody else have anything? I need a motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
Motion.
I think Kelly beat you. Then Brenda, your second. All in favor? We are adjourned.
Pick back up at 6:30, got some students coming.
Now
That's crazy. Board members, you have a copy of the agenda. Are there any changes that need to be made? If none, I need a motion that we approve the agenda. Thank you, Brenda. Then Sheila. All in favor? It is approved. If you will, please stand for the pledge and prayer. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us be here this evening. Thank you for beautiful weather and keeping our kids and staff and parents and everybody safe and warm over the past couple of weeks. Just continue to bless us like you always do, and help the decisions we make tonight benefit the kids and the staff, and ultimately praise your name. In Jesus' name, amen. Next on the agenda, consent items. You have a copy of the minutes. Are there any changes that need to be made? If none, I need a motion that we approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second. Kelly, Hunter, all in favor? They are approved. Then next on the agenda is recognition.
Yeah, so tonight we get the pleasure of recognizing our star students and our star teachers. So star student is our students who scored the highest on the SAT, I think ACT as well, but I think we're talking SAT here tonight. And they get to choose a teacher who's had a great impact on them throughout their academic career. And so we've got those folks here as well. So from North Murray High School, we've got Landon Atkins and Stacy Rowland. And that was his chosen star teacher. So listen, I was up at North Murray the other day filming a little Valentine's video fun with Dorisha, and if you need some advice on how to take care of the ladies, Landon is your guy.
Okay. And we'll do North Murray and then we'll do Murray, so I can post all the their names. What they put, you want me to join? Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, let me get on what I said. Sorry, I was doing something different earlier. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hey, better
It
go.
hates me. It's my battery. I'm charging the battery.
I know. Sorry, guys. So what was your score?
Ah.
Because then there's competition between the two schools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't announce it yet, okay.
Okay, here we go, right here, ready? 1, 2, 3, it'll work this time, I promise. There we go, thank you so much.
And
So do
Ms.
you take
Rowland
it
was his
again?
8th grade teacher, and so we were super excited about that when he selected her
Yeah.
as well.
So explain the competition, so y'all will take it again?
No, they won't take it again, but you then have a system winner between the
The
two
two
students.
schools.
And then they do some regional
And then there's
stuff.
regional stuff.
So that hadn't
He'll
been
have to
announced.
go,
Okay.
we'll have to go to some other competitions and things. He'll sit
Well,
up
that's
speaking for
exciting.
I really want to ask him what he's taking care of for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
He had a nice answer for that.
Yeah, what do you got Valentine's Day coming?
Oh, well, I went to Pandora today.
Yeah.
There you go.
So congratulations to both of you. All right, and for Murray County High School, we've got Owen Lamb, and he chose Keith Rollins as his star teacher. So, I can jump up here. Blake's pinch hitting for Miss Morrow. She was having to take care of something this evening.
Oh, you love to get your
Oh, I
opinion
do.
made.
Yeah, that's why he's getting up here.
This is my favorite.
I know all the ones that do and don't. I can tell when they see me coming. All right, y'all smile for me right here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. That looks good. Thank you so
All
much.
right, congratulations.
Okay. Next on the agenda, public participation. Do we have anything?
No, no public participation.
Next, the superintendent report.
Yes, and so first up, we heard had kind of a chance to ask questions about our bond resolution during the work session, so we just ask that you would, my recommendation would be to pass that, so we can move on with, next phase over at the high school.
We'll go ahead and vote on that. I need a motion that we approve the bond resolution.
Make a motion.
Tony, and I think Conrad,
Can you tell me
all in favor? Yeah, approved.
All right. Next up will be Dr. Smith with our financial report.
Do you want them to stay or be bored?
Yeah, I was gonna say, our folks that are busy tonight, you're more than welcome. It should actually be very long tonight if you want to stay and get to see what goes on in the board meeting. It's always big fun. If you want to leave, you got a couple minutes, you're welcome to head out. You may have some stuff going on. We are so appreciative of you guys. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your hard work. And big shout out to our teachers who helped make that possible. So thank you. You guys can head on if you like. Nobody ever takes us up on the opportunity.
My husband's told me I gotta go.
Thank you, guys.
It's so fun to talk about this stuff.
All the time you put in to prepare for this.
That's okay, it didn't hurt my feelings.
Paperwork's finished.
You're staying. You're locked in.
And I enjoy it.
There you
He's a finance person.
He is,
Oh,
actually.
okay. Yeah, he's one of the few people, he and I have the same kind of credentials. See, my bachelor's is in accounting, and I have a master's, EDS, and doctorate in education, and yours is the reverse, right?
Well, no, my bachelor's in finance,
Okay,
and then the rest of them are in education.
okay, yeah.
Okay,
So,
that's neat. So
very
you do
good.
like numbers then?
Yeah, yeah, we talked about that. We didn't know either one of us had the same kind of background, yeah. All right, so today, we're gonna finish up, begin by talking about SPLOST, but we're getting close to finishing this one up. The January deposit, which was actually December numbers, came in a lot better, a little bit better than it did this time last year at $694,000 compared to $647,000. Definitely did better than we did in January of '24, with $544. It'd been nice if we could have got as close to that 816 number again, but those days may be gone for a while. So, so we're getting close to ending this SPLOST, but on here, one of the things in one of my calculations, I had actually ended it with that March deposit, but we will actually get an April deposit because the April is for March. So we've got about 3 more deposits to add to this, so that's gonna be good. So those numbers, definitely it exceeded the maximum amount, but we'll get a good chunk of change past that. Okay? Any questions on the SPLOST? If not, we'll move on to the December numbers. We got December ready to close, but these are how it's going to end up. So we've talked about the actuals right now. We have around 34 for December. We have around 34 million in revenues, which was around 44% of the budget. On expenditures, we've got $30 million in expenditures, which is around 39% of the budget. So think back, even though we're talking about December numbers, you know, and when this page is more than that page, that's a good sign. Because then that shows you for that revenues, those tax deposits came in, we collected some of those in November. You saw some of those numbers then. Now we're in December and we're seeing some more of that. Those tax deposits that actually hit the books, so we're showing for December around a $3.9 million surplus compared to our $945,000 deficit that we estimated for the year. Okay, so that is your actuals for December. Next, you'll go on one more screen. Next, you'll go to the accruals. So all this does is take the actual and it adds the QBE and it adds the July and August payroll to it and those expenses for benefits for that. So when you look at the numbers, you can see for for this time last year, we were around 21 million in assets, we're around 20 million. That just, you can see that the projected local revenue there of 1.1 was very similar to this time last year at 1.1, and the receivables, of course, should be more, 7.4 than they were last year because of QBE. So everything looks good on that. 471,000 in outstanding or open purchase orders, but that's very manageable. It's not a big number at all, even though it was bigger than this time last year. So then we take the actuals and we add those accruals in, and so here's where we add QBE money to it, and we see, okay, how much, what does the picture look like when we expense those salaries? So for revenues, with the accrual, we would have 43 million in revenues, and we had 43 million this time in revenues last year. On the expense side of it, the expenditures were around 39 million. Let's go one more time. 39 million expenditures for when we add those salaries and benefits in there, compared to 39 million this time last year. If we were running a race, we'd be dead even right now. One of us would get the gold and one of us would get the silver. It's because we are neck and neck compared to the same thing that we were doing this time last year. You can turn the next page and see that right now we're running a $3.6 million surplus. Last year it was 3.7 million. That's not how we ended up, but comparatively, year to year, we're staying very close. You can't get any closer than that right now on the estimation of expenses. So even though salaries might have increased with step raises, and even though benefits increased, and even though TRS increases, the increases that we're seeing with QBE offset those, and then the cost saving measures that were put in place on allocations is helping to even the score. Okay, that's what we're seeing right now. Any question on any of that? I'm going to follow your same thing. The only purchase order we have is for transportation, 33,000. It is a rebuild of an engine for bus 48. It's a 2006 model. That money is in his building and repair line item. It's not new money, it's already there. So there's no additional expense to the budget for that. I don't know if this page is next in your book or this page.
It is that one.
This one? Okay. So Georgia Fund 1, when he was asking me what Georgia Fund 1, I just made it, I thought it was 3.7, but it is. You can see there on January, we started off with about 10 million in that revenue in Georgia Fund 1. I took some money out so that we could pay everybody early before the snowstorm. And so I've got to move some money back. But we still collected $28,000 worth of interest at 3.7, so it is earning more in Georgia Fund 1 than what we are borrowing for our bond at 3.17. So we've collected around $90,000 of interest right now, and $721,000 since we started investing. And then this should be your actuals. So this one I ran on February the 3rd. I don't know if you've got it or not.
Yeah.
They do in their book. But so February the 3rd, I ran, what is our revenues for right now and what's our expenditures right now. So revenues are at 40 million, expenditures are at 37 million, so we're still sitting there with our $3 million surplus currently. Still a lot of school to go, but things look good right now as far as collection wise and expenditure wise. Wow, that should be a record.
Perfect.
Yes, any questions on that?
Got one,
Okay,
about the 3.7, is that bottom to what that Georgia Fund 1 will go, or what dictates the interest rate of that count?
that's a good question. I wouldn't attempt to give you a great answer. It's a large pool of money, and it tends to do better than than what's out there on the average, you know? I don't know how the investment scheme, you know, how it's set up. You know, at times, when times were lean, you know, it dropped way down, you know, it was 1% or less.
Okay.
You know, so there's no guarantee that it's gonna be high yield, and you usually get some kind of revenue from it. It's better than having nothing, but I really don't know. It's an investment pool of lots of different, you have to be a school district or a municipality to participate. Any other, that's a good question, Mike. Any other questions? Okay, that's all I have.
If there's no other questions, I need a motion that we approve the SPOS outline and financial statement as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Kelly, Tony, all in favor? It is approved. Next, I need a motion that we approve the one purchase order.
So,
Kelly, Hunter, all in favor? It is approved.
All right, next up, we've got a couple of field trips in there. One of them we approved by poll already, and then the other is coming up this weekend. So dance team trips there.
There's no question. I need a motion that we approve the one field trip as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Tony, all in favor? It is approved.
All right, next up, we've got our personnel packet. We'd ask you to approve this discussed in executive session.
I need a motion that we approve the personnel package.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Brenda. All in favor? It is approved.
All right, next up, we have our second reading of the social media policy that Mike talked about earlier. So you've had a chance to look at that if you have any further questions about that. If not, we'll have our third reading next month and get that taken care of in our policy per the state. All right, and last up on there, and it's on your agenda, not on my agenda I have here, we've got to waive, you guys already voted to waive by poll to our zoning policy. So I just ask you to do that publicly.
I need a motion that we waive the policy JBCD.
Second.
Conrad, Tony, all in favor? It is approved. Don't have a name for, okay. Is there any board discussion? If none, I need a motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
Brenda,
second.
Hunter, all in favor? We are adjourned.